Hey, it's Paul Baines with GreatDad.com, and I'm doing a series of recipes here using the Instant Pot. I got this for my birthday. Nobody sent this to us. And I just want to try out some things that will make having this worthwhile, because it is another appliance to put on your countertop. Not everybody has space. Not everybody wants a lot of crap on their tabletop. But this does rice cooker, pressure cooker, which I use a lot, and then it has two other functions that I think would be worth having to try and see if it's actually fun or easy to do. And that is, you can make creme brulee in here or any other type of custard style foods, basically putting your ramekins or your little containers on a trivet and putting in the pressure cooker. And you can also make yogurt. We'll do that in a separate video. But right now what I'm going to try to do is use a really simple recipe that I found. If you search pressure cooker, or not pressure cooker, but Instant Pot creme brulee, you'll find lots of recipes. They all basically have the same ingredients. Very simple. Some say that you need to put the ingredients together and then heat them up on the stove first. I'm going to skip that because some recipes also don't require that and go right to it. Make this, hopefully it'll be done a little bit later. We'll get Hayden to take the blowtorch to it and make that crispy caramelized thing that people love on the top of creme brulee, and maybe even eat this for dinner tonight. So very simple, and I'm going to use a half recipe. I'll put the whole recipe in the description so you have it, but I'm going to use a half recipe. This would make 3 6-ounce servings, so these are 6-ounce ramekins. That'll take 4 egg yolks, so I'll just throw those in there. I don't know what I'm going to do with the egg whites, but we'll figure that out. It's a full cup, or in a half recipe, a full cup of cream. And I've experimented a lot of times using lower fat milks instead for like quiches, and quite often they say use full-on cream for a quiche. You don't have to do that. You can use a 2%. You may not even taste the difference. I saw a lot of recipes that suggested a 2%, even a 2% creme brulee would taste delicious. In this case, I'm using about half whole milk and half and half. I don't know what that becomes, but it's something a little bit richer than milk and not as rich as full cream. I'm going to put that in there. The original recipe called for a 1/3 of a cup of sugar, so half of that. I love these, I think Cuisinart makes these, some other people make these measuring cups that are like little pans, because you can actually see, that's a 1/6 of a cup, but you can visually see that I've got a 1/6 of a cup without having a 1/6 of a cup measure. So I'm going to throw that in. I quite often actually use a little less sugar than recipes say. There are a lot of people say you can take out 1/3 of the sugar without having an appreciable effect or ruining a recipe. Quite often that makes it just a little less sweet for those of us who don't love completely sweet. So I'm going to put that in there too. Maybe leave a little bit left and throw that back in the pan. Then, let's see, there was a little bit of vanilla. I've got somewhere here, a half teaspoon of vanilla. So I'm going to do 1 full half teaspoon. Okay, and then I'll have to just eyeball this, about a half of that. There we go. And then you get this brownish liquid. Already looks like what a creme brulee liquid would look like. So we just whisk that together. It's pretty whisk to me. Now the thing about the Instant Pot, I don't have an extension cord long enough, so I'm going to have to do this after we turn it off. But basically, you're using it like a pressure cooker. You have this, you have the usual Instant Pot pot, so that's going to be in there, but we're going to use this trivet to put this slightly above the water. And whether we've got a half a recipe or a full recipe, we need to have enough water in the pot so that the water boils, creates that really completely enrobing heat to make the creme brulee work without actually baking it from the top and the bottom. Just kind of puts all the heat together and condenses the heat so that you can make something like this without cooking the outsides, without cooking the insides. Now, one thing that's important, if you use your your Instant Pot for other things like chili, I read online, sterilize this guy before you make some sweet dessert. And you just take a pot of water, boil it, and then make sure the insides are clean, obviously, but give that one more really good cleaning with the boiled water, and that'll get rid of the residual spices, so you don't end up having chili flavored creme brulee. All right, so that's going to go in here. Then we've got the trivet. Now, if you have 3 of these, they fit exactly right here like this. Actually, you can fit 4 inside this pot. If you have 6, what's cool is you can stack them. Some other people say get another one of these trivets and you can stack 4 more on top. But in this case, we're going to have 3, so they're going to sit like this. We're going to cover them with aluminum foil in a second. Ideally, I think I would have used a bowl that has some sort of stout on it. In fact, I could probably do that most easily just by doing this. Put it back in with our milk. And then just fill up each one of these guys. See how much I get? A little bit of egg yellow. You can strain this if you are really a stickler. I mean, this is just for family. I'm not trying to impress anybody about what an amazing chef I am. So there's going to be a little yellows floating around in here. Not the end of the world. I'm sure Hayden's not going to care. It's going to be the taste. Actually, Hayden's not even a creme brulee fan, but he thought that getting a chance to blowtorch it would be fun, and he said he'd eat it if I did that. So, okay, so we put the trivet down. Let's then go in the water like this. You put these little guys on top. But first, we're going to cover them with foil so that it creates a seal. Now, the reason I'm doing this versus doing creme brulee that you can make in the oven. I mean, why get an Instant Pot just to do that? The reason, and it's the reason I don't make creme brulee very often, is when you make creme brulee in the oven, you have to do what's called a bain-marie. And a bain-marie is using some sort of container, putting water in it, and then putting the ramekins in the water, and then the water surrounds most of where the liquid is, and make sure that all the heat is directed on all sides of the container. Well, the problem is that anytime you are doing that, you tend to slosh the water all around, and one time out of 5, I end up sloshing the water, and it gets in the creme brulee. So I'm excited to try this just to see whether we can do this without that type of mishap. So I'm going to put these in. That's all there is to it. And we're going to turn it on for, the recipes say 6 minutes. You can look this up online. You don't need to know the exact, oh wait. I was supposed to put in just a touch of salt. Let's just skip it. Nobody will even know. Though salt often does kind of bring out the sweetness. Let's see, we're going to lock the lid in place, pressure, and set the timer for 6 minutes. And then we let the heat dissipate, and we take off the lid, and then they go immediately in the refrigerator. They say two hours, but you can also keep them in the refrigerator for 2 days. So if you can make this as a make-ahead dessert for the family. Let's go and see how it works out. I'll come back when we pull them out. I may or may not be with Hayden, who will blowtorch them, and we'll give them a try. Thanks. Okay, so we let this run for about 6 minutes, and then we let it rest. I've let the air pressure go, and now I can open it up. And they're still in there. They're looking a little hot. I don't know if I want to pick them up with my hands, but I will now take them out of here, put them in the refrigerator, let them sit for, they're supposed to cool off, I guess. Throw them in the refrigerator for at least 2 hours, and then we will torch them. Now, meanwhile, I got this torch for Christmas 2 years ago, and it's sitting in the It's been sitting in the closet waiting for this event, and I thought this would be fun for Hayden because he dreams of things like this, you know, setting fire or something. But as it turns out, I can't make it work, or it needs butane. So we're going to finish these off the old-fashioned way, which is to put them in either the toaster oven or the oven on broil and broil the tops of them. I've done this before. It works out. I don't know if I'm going to bore you with that part of the process, because we would like to see how this works out, but I may have to take a trip to the drugstore or the hardware store. So until we're back eating this or baking it, I'll see you in a bit. Bye. Okay, we're back and we're wearing different clothes because it's been a full day. We had the blowtorch, or the, what is it called? Creme Brulee torch? Yesterday, and who'd sell a torch that doesn't have gas in it? So I had to go out and buy gas today, but we're ready now. And we've got 3 creme brulees that sat in the Instant Pot for all of 6 minutes, and they're perfectly solid, which is great. So what we're going to do is put a little bit of this demarara sugar. Some recipes call for demarara sugar, which is kind of this brown topping sugar. Other ones suggest superfine sugar, but we're just going to use a little bit of this. I don't know how much of this. I think they said a teaspoon per ramekin, but I think that might be a little bit much. And then we'll have Hayden try his welding skills here and give this a try. Okay, go ahead.
So do I turn it all the way up, or?
No, medium size.
No, I just...
Yeah, go slowly at first, like from a distance. So there you go. Okay. Okay, not too much on one part. You're gonna burn it. Yeah, don't burn it. You're burning it a little bit. I think patience is a big part of this, because I can tell already that if you go too fast, you end up not just caramelizing the sugar, but turning it brown. Yeah.
But it seems like it's... Do you just want to like heat it up?
Yeah, I think that's the idea. Make sure you get the sides. Actually, what I can tell here is that we may, if you wanted this to be really a hard, crackly surface, you might need more sugar than I put, because I think the recipe actually calls for 1 teaspoon, and I put 1 teaspoon on all 3.
We might want to have it better dispersed. Or...
Okay, let's try. Let's put a little bit more on the second one, and you can see how that works out.
Should I keep on going on this one? Or?
Yeah, why don't we do one more? This one's good. So this is basically what you get is something that looks about like that.
Okay, I'm gonna try and do better on this one.
We've never used this before. I've done this before and put it in under the broiler in the toaster oven or the oven. You can do that, but the trick there is you have to be really, really careful and vigilant. You can't walk away for a second. You really got to really watch it. I think now you're getting the hang of it. You're just gently melting the sugar, so that's going to have that crackly top that creme brulee is known for. But if you're doing this at a dinner party, you'd have to move pretty fast if you
were to crispen them.
Maybe you can make them ahead of time, but I think usually they have people, as I said, you can make these, put them in the refrigerator for 2 hours or for 2 full days. But I think you need to do the caramelization part last, because if you leave this in the refrigerator caramelized, it'll tend to get wet and then less. Wow, it's taking a while, but that looks like the kind of the idea that we're talking about. What do you think? Mm-hmm. You think it's ready?
I guess, yeah.
Well, that's a lot of butane. Should we take the one that's been sitting there for a while? Okay, so let's see. It's not a super lot of sugar.
You might need the fine sugar, so you need more like, if you have it probably dispersed like all along the top of it, it might be better. Give more of a crackly effect.
Yeah. Well, I think that's why.
Oh.
Yeah, it's slightly better there. Okay, give it a try. Hayden's never had a creme brulee before, so we'll see what he thinks of it. Now there are in this recipe there are 4 eggs. So 4 eggs over 3 creme brulee, that's a very egg-filled dessert.
It's quite sugary.
Quite sugary?
Or at least the top. I don't know. I think I would, if it had like the more denser top, I think it would be better. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
you know, I think there's differences.
That's a good little piece right there.
I think there are differences that we would do in terms of the recipe, but the consistency really is very much like a creme brulee. As I said before, some people strain out the egg so you don't get the lumpiness in this. So this doesn't end up being as smooth, but I think the pressure cooker is a winner. Okay, GreatDad.com. I'm Paul Banish. He's, what's your name? Hayden. My trusty co-star with this review of the Instant Pot and how you can use it to make creme brulee in 6 minutes, plus all that waiting time and blowtorching and going out and buying the butane. Make sure to like and subscribe. We're doing more cooking videos.